how does Vaishnava they view the what is the view of Vaishnavas, or how does Gaudiya Vaishnavism view the relationship between the material world and the spiritual world, is the question here. So, in the perspective of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, in the view of Gaudiya Vaishnava, the material world, or the Maya, and the spiritual world, or Vaikuntha or Golok Vrindavan, as distinct yet interconnected realms. The material world is temporary, characterized by dualities and sufferings, and serves as a place for living entities to learn and grow their experience. The spiritual world, on the other hand, is eternal, full of bliss, knowledge, and love, where Krishna resides with his devotees. So, the goal of life in any branch of Vaishnavism is to transcend the material world through devotional service and return to the spiritual world, reuniting with Bhagavan Sri Krishna in an eternal and loving relationship. So, Vaishnavism presents a comprehensive understanding of relationship between this material and spiritual world. So we can see the distinct nature and path to transcend this material world or the Maya. We can see the nature and purpose of this material world, also commonly understood as a Maya Jagat, is temporary realm characterized by dualities and sufferings, the cycle of birth and death, sufferings. So it serves as a place for all the jivatma, the living entities, to experience the result of their past action or the karma as a prarabdha, and to pursue their desires and ambitions. However, due to its transit in nature and the influence of Maya, it is considered a place of suffering, saying dukkhalayam ashashvatam. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 8th chapter, it says this material world is a place of suffering and is temporary in nature. And spiritual world, or the Vaikuntha, Golok Vrindavan, the spiritual world is eternal abode of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Bhagavan Sri Narayana, and characterized by bliss, by knowledge and divine love with eternity. So it is free from the dualities and limitation of the material realm. The spiritual world is where Bhagavan Sri Krishna resides with his eternal associates, and is engaging in the pastime of love and devotion. And as material world is called dukkhalayam ashashvatam, similarly the spiritual world is called nityo nityanam chetanas chetana. From Kathopanishad says, among all eternal conscious beings, Krishna is the chief, and he's similarly to his abode. And in Bhagavad Gita it says, na tadvasayatu shuryo na shasankana papaka yad gatvana nivartanti taddama paramama. The supreme abode of mine is not illuminated by the sun or a moon or by fire or the electricity. Actually, it's those who reach it, or those who attend that absolute dham, that Sri Krishna's abode, never return to this material world again. And in Brahma Samhita says, Goloka namni nijadhamni talecha tasya, above all them all is located Krishna's own realm named Goloka. So relationship between two worlds is its interconnectedness. There is interconnectedness between the material and spiritual world, as they are both created by the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. However, they differ vastly in terms of their nature and purpose. The material world is reflection, or the perverted reflection, of the spiritual world, as Srimad Bhagavad Gita in 15th chapter gives the example of Ashwatha tree with its root upward and the branches downward. And also analogy is given by our acharyas, saying that like there is a Mount Everest and the photo of a Mount Everest. So we cannot deny the fact that that photo is also a reality of Mount Everest. We cannot deny this is not Mount Everest, although it's a reflection or the photograph of a Mount Everest. So we cannot climb that photographic Mount Everest. Or we can see the reflection of a tree in a lake. So we cannot deny that the reflection in the river, we cannot say it's not a tree. But that is not tree in reality. We can say this is the bimba of tree, pratibimba of tree, the reflection of the tree. Although it is tree, if we say what you can see in the lake, we say tree. Similarly, the photo of Mount Everest, somebody shows and asks, what is this? We say it's a Mount Everest. But we cannot climb that Mount Everest. We cannot get the ice from that Mount Everest, snow from that Mount Everest. We cannot go around and play snow in the photo of Mount Everest. But we cannot deny that is Mount Everest also. So that's the analogy given generally by our Acharyas. So this vast difference in the nature and purpose. The material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world, and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, yat vibhutim ashatvam Srimad urjitam eva vaha tad devavagachatum mama tejo shammavam. Krishna says, whatever being is glorious, this prosperous or powerful, you should know it to be manifestation of my fragment of my splendor, as Sri Krishna says. So it's manifestation. So the ultimate goal of life is to transcend the material world with its suffering and limitation and return to a spiritual world to engage in the eternal loving devotional service, bhakti to Sri Krishna. This is achieved through the sincere devotional practice or the sadhana bhakti, including chanting of Sri Krishna Nam, Harinam, Sankirtani, hearing and contemplating the pastimes of Sri Krishna and serving his devotees. As Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Mampete Punarjana Dukhalayam Asasam Napnavati Mahatman Samsiddhim Paramam Gatha, that after attaining the great souls who are bhakti yogi, or the practitioner of devotion, never return to this temporary world which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. So Sriman Mahaprabhu actually exemplified the practice of constantly meditating on the spiritual world while fully engaged in the material world. Sriman Mahaprabhu was profound. He actually, his life itself was a profound demonstration of balancing spiritual pursuit with worldly responsibilities. Born in Navadip, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he displayed early signs of his spiritual inclination in the profound devotion of Krishna, who is actually in himself. So his teachings emphasize the chanting of the Sri Krishna Nama is the most effective means of spiritual realization in the present age of Kali. Sriman Mahaprabhu actually popularized the practice of congregational chanting, Sankirtan movement, and taught that through the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, one could directly experience the presence of Sri Krishna and attain spiritual liberation, which is so practically. And Sriman Mahaprabhu's teachings' impact on spiritual awakening was profound, which can be seen practically nowadays even. That the follower of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, or follower of Sriman Mahaprabhu, actually carried his teaching, especially Srila Prabhupada, spread Krishna consciousness movement throughout the world. Among we can see during time of Sriman Mahaprabhu, among his followers, Haridas Thakur, who was exemplified the potency of chanting Sri Krishna Nam by constantly chanting 300,000 names every day. Haridas Thakur's dedication to practice and his exemplary character inspired many others to embrace this path of devotion through the efforts of Sriman Mahaprabhu and his followers. His spiritual masses and practice of this Krishna Bhavana Amrita spread far and wide, as it's now globally temples are being established and extensive literatures are being preached, and actually wrote extensive literatures and engaged in missionary activities to share the teachings of Sriman Mahaprabhu with people from the globally, each and everyone, every town and village, and by their selfless service and devotion, they transform countless lives, we can see, and help others to find the souls in the practice of Bhakti Yoga. So Sriman Mahaprabhu life and teaching, coupled with the dedicated effort of Rupanuga Vaishnavas, illustrate the profound impact of his spiritual awakening in the middle of this challenge and responsibilities of the material world. So actually the followers of this Gaudiya Vaishnavism actually embody the principle of engaging in devotional service while maintaining connection with the spiritual realm, thereby inspiring others to cultivate deeper relationship with Bhagavan Sri Krishna and seeking spiritual enlightenment at the same time. This could be, we can see globally the examples. So from here we can see that actually the relationship between material world and spiritual world is material world is the means. Material world and this material body is the means to attend the spiritual world or the spiritual realm. So this is basically the place and the medium and this transit to spiritual world. Hare Krishna.